All right, so here we are in the cozy bar, and the first thing to know is that this is a world where, unlike the other experiences, which only had a single agent, this world has many agents. You know, all the people in your neighborhood come here to congregate and socialize, and it's a world where everybody is just living out their life autonomously based on who they are, who their character is, what their needs are, and they're talking to each other, and meaningful stories are unfolding. And you know, I think a couple of these characters are in the middle of an argument, and Jessica is the bartender who wants to serve me a drink. I guess Marta is hitting on me right now. So lots of things happening here, and you can engage in conversation with any of these characters and start building a relationship with them, or turning them into an enemy of yours, perhaps. You know, it's really up to you to decide what happens in these worlds. But the other thing to know is that these worlds are you know, full environments that aren't just set dressing, but are interactable. You know, you can see this character over here is using the jukebox on his own, and that's true of everything here. I can use the ATM and pull out money. I can grab wine from the fridge or try to open up the cash register, and maybe the bartender would get mad at me, or play video games at the arcade. And these are more than just things that I can just do on my own. You know, I can dance here, but this is something that all of the agents around me can start participating in, which is just incredible to see unfold. And creating one of these scenes, anybody can create a point of interest, or an attraction as we call them in Project Aura, extremely easily with our web editor. And unlike other UGC tools that you might have seen, our web editor is extremely accessible. First of all, you didn't have to download any sort of client or anything. It's just you click one button and boom, you're able to edit this scene and make it your own. And the way that these scenes have been constructed is, well, first of all, by a collection of thousands of assets in our asset catalog that we've made available. And we're continuing to add more and more every single day. There's a whole bunch of stuff, like, for example, that vampire's desk from earlier. That's just a prop you can add into this world and change its descriptions and details of, and add different interactions to. Obviously, that doesn't make sense in this world, so I'm going to delete that. But the other way that you edit the scene is by changing the details, as I mentioned, on the characters. You can change what motivates them. In this case, we have the bartender, Jessica, who has been motivated to behave like a bartender. That's why she walks up to people and asks if they have drinks or want a drink, or cleans up after them, stuff like that. But we can easily modify this to be anything else. Like, for example, I could just remove all of this detail, and with natural language alone, I can say that her primary motivation is to play pool at the pool table. And I'll go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to just reload the page. This is a local development environment, so just to be extra sure that change took place. And now if I run the scene, we should see Jessica just naturally want to go over to the pool table, pick up the cue stick, and start playing pool. Now, don't mind the prototype animations here, but that's just incredible. For the first time, anybody can create these really compelling emergent narrative scenes with only natural language. That was something that we learned the hard way at our previous companies doing UGC platforms, is that at the end of the day, if you're asking people to code, you're asking too much. You can make the tools as easy as you can, but it's still too difficult to ask somebody to be a game developer. But in this case, anybody can do it because it's just natural language.